Welcome to InCabin from the creators of AutoSense. InCabin connects the global community of automotive interior specialists working on in-cabin safety, comfort, and productivity solutions through industry-leading events and knowledge sharing. We are joined today by Philipp Russ, Co-CEO of Simi, part of ZF Lifetec. And Philipp, welcome back to InCabin. Good to see you again, friend.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Looking forward to the interview and, of course, to the lovely event.
Yeah, indeed. And so, Philipp, how do you see occupant monitoring shaping InCap 2026? I know this is a question you get frequently. So, ultimately, with regard to that, what differentiates Simi as part of ZF Lifetec from everyone else in this aspect?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, now we have an NCAP protocol for 2026 that includes occupant monitoring to really be rewarded with points. So now this topic is really on everybody's radar. Yeah, so it's the first time that it's not only, say, a discussion of the enthusiasts, but really something that is coming close to becoming needed and maybe at some point even mandatory for OEMs. So this, of course, is a big change. The topic becomes really, really relevant. And for us, it's a really good moment because most of the functions that we see described in NCAP 26, they do target an improvement in passive safety in the end. We, as a top tier one in passive safety, we are well positioned in that. We really know how to change passive safety functions, what it will do to them. And we focused on occupant monitoring for over 5 to 6 years. And I think both of these elements, the early focus and the connection to the real target function in our company, gives us an edge about many others that are just getting started.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, fantastic, Philipp. And let's keep with that theme of passive safety systems. You mentioned that. So, why is integration with passive safety systems, why is that so important?
Yeah, I mean, if we only look at occupant monitoring, this adds little value. I mean, first of all, of course, now we have some warning functions like wearing the seatbelt correct or don't be so close to where the airbag might deploy. But the real game changer, of course, is to really alter the function of passive safety systems. So changing the behavior of a seatbelt or of an airbag based on the occupant type and position and understanding what kind of data are really important to do so and how they change passive safety functions in the end is really important to know the right requirements and integrate that into the development cycle to not over-engineer and on the other hand, make something really reliable and functioning.
With everything we've been discussing so far, Philipp, what functions then ultimately matter the most for real world safety, maybe even beyond the regulations?
Yeah, the most important function is adaptive restraints, which means the belt forces and the airbag really adapting to the specific crash scenario, the occupant type, and the occupant position. A restraint system needs to catch you as soft as possible, but as hard as needed. And of course, big and heavy people need a different system than lightweighted people that maybe sit very close to where the airbag may come from. And for the system to detect this reliably and then to really adapt the forces that can rescue lives, that's the most important thing. And that's really a game changer in the end in real life safety.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic, and so well said. What was that quote you just had? It needs to catch you. It needs it as hard as possible. What was that quote? That was great. Say that again.
Yeah, it needs to catch the occupant as soft as possible, but as hard as needed.
As soft as
Yeah,
possible and as hard as
exactly.
needed. Oh,
Because just to make a picture, when
yeah.
there's a crash, I mean, we're starting to fly forward, right? And the job of the restraint system is to catch us. But if the restraint system is really hard, so the seatbelt is just rigid and the airbag is like a rigid object, it's gonna hurt you. So it needs to slow you down as soft as possible to not hurt you. But if it does it not hard enough, you're gonna hit parts of the vehicles, and that's even worse. Yeah? And making this balance is the ultimate mission of an adaptive restraint system.
Yeah, so very well said, Philipp. We're speaking with Philipp Russ, co-CEO of Simi, part of ZF Lifetec. And so Philip, talking now about occupant monitoring, to go in that direction for a minute, how do you see occupant monitoring evolving as we get closer to, say, 2029 and 2030?
Yeah, right now for NCAP 26, we see the first occupant monitoring functions being rewarded, while most of them are warnings. So they are being used to educate the occupants not to do specific things. And I think in 29 and ahead, we will cover more scenarios, and some scenarios will be used to really alter the restraint systems and alter vehicle functions. So the requirements to these systems will become more strict. And for the next years, OEMs have a little bit of time to experiment with this new technology, and will adopt this technology much more in the market, so that in 29, 2030, the market will be ready for a really broad adoption and really improving occupant safety.
Yeah, absolutely. And Philip, maybe another question you get frequently is then how do you bridge occupant state detection and passive safety reactions? How do you merge those two together?
In my experience, the key to that is really connecting the right people and the right teams. Because in occupant monitoring or detection, we have a lot of people coming from computer vision, AI engineering, and software development. While in the restraint system part, we have a lot of people being mechanical engineers, mainly working in simulation environments. And it's two different kind of professions and people. And the most important thing to make the system work in the end is to connect the right people and make them understand each other's worlds. And so it's really the human side inside the companies that make the thing work in the end, in my opinion.
Philip, it has been a pleasure to talk with you. Even in this short amount of time, I've gleaned a lot of insight from you, friend, and you've given me a lot to think about. Philipp Russ, co-CEO of Simi, part of ZF Lifetec. We're looking forward to seeing you in person in Barcelona for InCabin Europe 2025, October 7th through the 9th. But until then, thank you for at least being with us virtually anyway.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the interview. It's going to be a great event, I think. And I invite everybody, of course, who's seeing this. We're going to have a demo car there showing all our perception functions, also showing how restraint systems adapt. And I will be also giving one of the talks at the conference, and of course, be happy to see everyone there.
For more information on Simi, part of ZF Lifetec, and to find out more about our upcoming events, see the links in the description or visit InCabin.com. That's InCabin.com. For more in-depth interviews like this, subscribe to this YouTube channel and follow InCabin on LinkedIn. In Detroit, on behalf of InCabin, I'm Carl Anthony.